Hi everyone, Simon Keeling here. It is Friday the 4th of January. Thanks again for watching weatherweb.net. The site to get free of charge by the adverts you see around the screen. By using the adverts, clicking on the adverts, that's what generates the revenue that keeps us free of charge. So thank you for doing that. Okay, this is a special outlook video, just looking through the middle part of January into the middle part of February. We've got some update charts through from the Japanese Met Agency and also from the Korean Met Agency as well. Both making quite interesting viewing because they're both kind of tying up on how they're seeing things progressing, and it is a slide into cooler conditions that we're likely to see. However, stress, I don't really see a hard snap of winter coming here particularly, although of course things could change, but at the moment I'm just not seeing that from the charts. Let me show you what's going on. This is the week 1 forecast from the J. We are situated, this is from the JMA, we're situated just under here. Okay, you can just see there's Scotland, look, there's England down towards the south there, and what this shows is this ridge building through, look, this omega shaped ridge and the 500 millibar flow. The orange colours indicating above normal height. So what we're going to see is high pressure building in here, and that brings in this mild southwest flow that we're going to be seeing during the course of this week. Go on and have a look at week 2. This is the week 2 forecast from the JMA. There's the British Isles underneath here, look, just there. Here's Spain and Portugal, look, and notice how the ridge is shifting up towards the north. It's getting squeezed away. This is the high that's going to become centred up here. Low pressure down here with a trough moving its way eastwards, and the jet stream probably coming through something like that across the Atlantic. Now what that does in this week 2 period, which takes us through from day 9, so this is going through from next Friday through to the following Friday the 18th. So this takes up to the 18th of January, and what this picks up is the high shifting up towards the north, low pressure down towards the south, and I think what will tend to happen is the high will have a flow around it like so. That brings colder conditions through Scotland. Across the south we've got the jet stream moving through. Now I do think that probably tends to keep most of the UK in these dry conditions with high pressure in, but this flow building in particularly later in the week to bring more unsettled conditions down to the south. But I think generally a cooler week as we head into this week 2 period. And then heading into weeks 3 and week 4, which is taking us through from Saturday the 19th through, well, right the way through until it'll be, what will it be? It'll be Saturday the 2nd of February. And what we're looking at here is the ridge by then is kind of still north. It's kind of north of Iceland into Greenland. We've got this westerly flow coming through, look, straight across Bay of Biscay area into France. That's where the lowest of the heights are. So I think what we're going to see is unsettled conditions across the south of the country. We're going to be seeing the influence of this high up towards the north, perhaps still with this cool northeasterly flow. So for me, I think as we go through the end of January into the beginning part of February, what we're going to be seeing is a cooler flow developing across Scotland, possibly becoming cold there, but unsettled down towards the south. Now that doesn't rule out winter completely. I think what will happen is that the south of the country probably goes into more unsettled conditions again. It could be wet, it could be really wet again, I hate to say this, but I think what we could find is some sleet and snow coming in as low pressures go through and the winds go into the northeast. We could find some bites of wintry weather coming through. So I think what we're going to find January overall is that despite this mild start from the middle part of the month through till early February, looks as if it is going to be on the cooler side. And if we just take a look at how the Koreans see this, this is the latest from the Korean model for the late January period. Here's the British Isles underneath here. This is mean sea level pressure, and the anomaly shown on that chart because of that. And you notice how we got the redder colours up here, look, the oranger colours, again signifying this high building to the north of Scotland in this middle to later part of January. And what that is signalling all the way through is the idea of a colder northeasterly flow building through Scotland, dry conditions Scotland, northern England, Ireland, probably south as well for a while, but then lower pressure than normal down towards the south in here, look, and that's going to have the effect of zipping its way eastwards during this period. So I think what we're going to be finding is this cooler weather just coming through. And then for the early part of February, this is how the Korean sees it then, look, it builds pressure in, it blocks out pressure here out towards the west of the country, and the effect of that is probably going to be that it blocks off systems coming in from the Atlantic. So it could be that this early February period certainly is a much cooler period than the one that we get used to in the early part of January. So I think we can be confident in going for that idea. And then we go into the middle part of February, and for the middle of February, still got this blocked out high out towards the west. We've got a lower than normal pressure, out towards the east, and we then need to watch for the risk of this block just getting set in here out towards the west of the country, and north and northwesterly flow coming through, and some cold conditions coming through. So I think this is where we need to be watching out for winter proper. What we could find is that a temperature profile does something like this, where we get a this mild spell beginning of January, then we get this gradual fall off in towards the later part of January and early February, and then we get a big fall off in temperature for the latter part of February. So you kind of have, this is around about the 11th of January, and this is around about probably around the 4th of Feb, something like that, that we could get this sharp drop up in temperature. So we need to be watching for that risk that temperatures will fall off quickly in the middle part of February. Well, from about the 4th of February till about the middle of the month, it could go much colder. Before that, slow slippage into winter. This could be a snap of winter coming particularly strongly in that middle part of February. Just need to keep our eyes out for it. It's early days yet, obviously, but the Koreans been quite good at picking up on this, as has the Japanese. More models coming out in the next couple of weeks, including the UK Met Office model, which will be interesting to take a look at as well. But for now, I think we need to stick to this cool theme through January, from the middle part of January, potentially turning cold from about the 4th of February onwards. Been advising private clients on that for some time as well, and they've been brought up to date on that. And of course, you can be a private client too. Just get in touch, send me an email, simon@weatherweb.net, and we produce a whole host of services for particular industries such as farming. We do services for energy, for the insurance sector. So just get in touch, and I can let you know what we can offer. Okay, so thanks again for watching. Hopefully that's been useful for you. As always, like I said, the sites get free of charge by the adverts you see around the screen. By you coming back and using the site, that's what keeps us free of charge. So thank you for doing that. And whatever happens, keep the sun shining. Bye for now.